Year 1957, a small toy store in Maryland had children tugging at their parents' sleeves, eyes wide at endless aisles filled with dolls, trucks, and action figures. This wasn't just a store. It felt like Disneyland had moved into the neighborhood. The man behind this magic? Charles Lazarus, a visionary who believed kids deserved more than just a corner shop with a few toys on the shelf. He wanted to build a kingdom of toys. But here's the twist. That same empire he built, Toys R Us, would one day collapse so badly it shocked millions who grew up singing, "I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid." So how did one man build an empire of joy and lose it all? Let's find out. Charles Lazarus was born in 1923, the son of a bicycle store owner, but Charles had something different in mind. After serving in World War II, he came back to a booming America full of young families, baby booms, and, most importantly, children who wanted toys. But here's the genius part. Charles realized something parents didn't. Kids never stop wanting toys. Unlike furniture or appliances, toys were a repeat business. So owners cared less about the cribs and more about the toys on the side shelves. That small observation would change retail history forever. By 1957, Lazarus officially opened Toys R Us. Bright, colorful, overflowing with toys, and built on a supermarket-style model, shelves stacked high, aisles stretching endlessly. It wasn't just a store, it was a childhood paradise. And with TV ads introducing the mascot, Jeffrey the Giraffe, Toys R Us became a household name. But while Lazarus was building a toy wonderland, he was also laying down the seeds of its future problems. What were they? We'll get to that. Through the 1980s and 1990s, Toys R Us became the place for toys. If you grew up in America, you remember it. Aisles of Nintendo, Barbie, Hot Wheels, Lego sets, stacked to the ceiling. For kids, Toys R Us was heaven. For parents, it was unavoidable. And for Wall Street, it was unstoppable. At its peak, Toys R Us controlled nearly 25% of the global toy market. If you're enjoying this story so far, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon, because what's coming next will shock you. The first cracks in the empire. But here's the cliffhanger. What happens when an empire grows too big too fast? Lazarus stepped down in 1994, leaving behind a giant. But this giant was vulnerable. Why? Because Toys R Us was still built on old retail thinking. They were slow to adapt to the internet, slow to improve customer experience, and they had a dangerous enemy creeping in: Walmart and Target. Many question, if you're a parent buying diapers, groceries, and toys all in one trip at Walmart, why make a separate trip to Toys R Us? And then came the final blow: Amazon. Ironically, Toys R Us had partnered with Amazon in 2000 to sell toys online, but by the time the deal ended, Amazon had already learned the business and was outcompeting them on their own turf. Toys R Us went from innovator to dinosaur, and the clock was ticking. By the 2000s, debt was piling up. Management kept making short-term decisions, private equity deals, massive borrowing, but no true innovation. Stores that once felt magical now looked outdated, shelves half empty, prices higher than Walmart, and kids, they were glued to iPads, Xbox, and digital worlds instead of aisles of board games. In 2017, the unthinkable happened. Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy. By 2018, over 800 US stores closed. Millions of kids lost their toy wonderland. Parents mourned the end of an era, and Charles Lazarus, the man who dreamed it all, he passed away just days after the bankruptcy was announced, almost as if his heart couldn't survive watching his creation die. But here's the lesson. Toys R Us didn't collapse because kids stopped loving toys. It collapsed because businesses that don't adapt don't survive. It's a cautionary tale for every entrepreneur. Nostalgia and brand power mean nothing if you can't keep up with change. So the next time you pass by an empty retail lot where a Toys R Us once stood, remember, even giants can fall if they stop evolving. And if you want to see what kind of technology is shaping the next generation of business, then check out my video, 5 Insane Things ChatGPT 5 Can Do that GPT-4 never could. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. But before you go, tell me in the comments, did you ever visit Toys R Us as a kid? And what's the first toy you remember buying there?